Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mike with smartoptiontrading.com. It's uh, about 7 of 9 on the 1st of February here, and I'm live here, and so you guys can join me. Just trying to talk through some things as I did the morning setups call about an hour ago, and things are definitely changed a little bit since then. So I thought I'd jump back on here and just talk you guys through this a bit. Feel free to ask questions. We're getting a sudden spike down in the futures here, okay? Especially in the Nasdaq, the Qs are coming down hard here. And so, everything is not created equally right now in this market. This is definitely going to be a tricky day today in the markets. And just looking around here, Facebook still holding in okay up here. This 190 area is big. If it gets above it, you try it long. It gets below it, you can try to short versus 190. It's whippy. I'm not sure what it wants to do here at this point. Um, BABA, obviously the call maybe not going well here as it's going lower at this point. This thing was kind of priced to perfection. We talked about that. This could be games as well, right? They could be trying to whip people around here before the market opens and see what happens. Volume's 1.6, almost 1.7 million shares traded on the SPY pre-market already. So volume's a little bit up there today. There's definitely some volume behind this at this point. So looking around out there again, the banks, waiting for some news to ignite. They're not igniting up here. They're staying on the weaker side of things, right? Have not been able to really clear and hold this area, this 30 area on the XLF. Most of the banks are sitting there with them, kind of lethargic. And I keep looking around for something to do, something there, and I'm just not finding any trades I love. And right now, I'm watching Netflix get hit. Right, so Netflix, which had been our darling the last bunch of days, right? A bunch of people love this thing. When momentum leaves it, you got to be careful. And your 8 day is right here at 266, and I'm sorry, 262, and it's at 266 already. So it can see that pretty quickly this morning on this move down. What's interesting, I don't think there's any volume behind this, but I'm watching HMNY spike. Is there any volume behind it? No, there's not really any volume behind this move here. It's just spiking for whatever reason. Not sure why, just is. There is a persistent Netflix rumor on this thing, and it does make sense to me, but we'll see if that ever comes to fruition or not. Square is now getting hit as well. I mean, you're just seeing weakness creep into the markets in a lot of places. Even Amazon now is it would hit almost 1470 pre-market. Now we're back down to 1448. So it's down 22 fast. They report tonight. Google reports tonight. Apple reports tonight. X reported, like the other steel names, is not getting any traction off this report. Sold off the last 2 days, and it's pretty much flat here as the call is getting ready to start. We'll see how that goes. If it's going to be any good, if it's any weakness, it's going to hold this area right down here around 35. Let's call it 36 area. Right, 35.89, 35.80. That area should hold if it's going to show any kind of strength here at this point. OSTK, which had been one of the stronger names in the big blockchain space, is now showing some real weakness here at this point. Starting to look, tired as we're heading towards earnings on it. Doesn't mean it's over. It just means it's just tired. The buyout rumor is on this, persists on this. It's got a downtrend right through here that it has not been able to kind of break through at this point. It's lost the 21-day, the fast moving averages, and here's your 50-day. So it's going into the 50-day this morning pre-market. So this is an area to keep an eye on to see how things are. Hey, good morning, Chris. How are you? By the way, you guys can all chat with me if you want to ask questions. Right, I do that on purpose. So you got a lot of weakness here developing here on this on in the markets in general. So right now, the SPY is still above yesterday's lows. Qs have taken it out. The VIX is spiking, but not horribly, guys. So that's the one thing I do want to point out here is that the VIX, yeah, it's a little spiky here. It's going up a little bit, but not huge, but back up above 14 for the first time again. So we'll see if this is something that wants to build and go. I still have my hedge on. I haven't gotten rid of that at this point. What else? Google's not coming in as much as Amazon. What else is going on out there today? UPS had earnings, and the call maybe will help, but the guidance wasn't anything they were looking for, nothing spectacular. React, Apple, Microsoft. Apple has earnings tonight. I have no clue on what the hell this thing's going to do here, guys. I really don't. No clue on what Apple wants to do here. It's not a coincidence that This move came when the buyback program was turned off, right? So, that weakness, there was nothing to buy it. It's a good spot for it. When you look at it, it held support. That's the one thing I pointed out last night. If you look at this pullback on it, see this here, right? Your old high over here, that is now support, and it held it right there, basically almost to the T, right to it, and stopped and reversed. Right now, the question is, what's it want to go? Maybe it's a scalp long today. I don't play earnings. I'll wait until after earnings before I re-engage in Apple here. Microsoft today, Microsoft's kind of a gift. It hasn't moved after earnings. So you have the option now of trying to play it here, either long or short. I don't know what they want to do with it here. They took it down, they took it up, then they took it down, and then they brought it back up on the call. It was green, it's red again. I don't know. I really don't know what that one wants to do here. I'd be careful with these names. If these names start to show weakness, the market's going to roll. Win, I think overall, Win is a short, guys. Maku numbers were pretty good. It's not getting a bounce so far on that. There was a big call buyer into weekly 172.50s. We talked about this in my pre-market video yesterday for people out there, and we said, I think it's going to bounce to the moving averages and fail, and that's exactly what it did yesterday. Would I short it here? I'm contemplating taking some March 150 puts on this. I do think that Steve Wynn is going to be either resign or be forced out. I think that's bad news for the company. I think they're still trying to get their heads around it, but you got to be careful here after a move like this. You don't want to jump on it too fast. Hey, Vinit, good morning. Buy leaps on Apple. I would wait till after earnings. If Apple, I don't know what to expect. I expect they're going to announce a very good big buyback again, right? Because that's what they do. But that said, if Apple gets hit and it's bad and the numbers aren't there and guidance is not good, and Apple does have a history of guiding light at the beginning of the year, you're going to see the 200-day real fast on this, real fast. And then you have this whole bottom area, which is down here around 142, could quickly come into play on it. So I'm of the opinion, just stay out of the way on this one. Let it report tonight and see what it does. Could this thing blast off? Absolutely. I mean, they all these funds could be doing nothing but trying to get us out of this for the last couple weeks, right? With all this bad news, and they're going to come in and blow everybody away and have great guidance and stuff. But at this point, I think you're better off playing safe and staying away from it. I know a lot of traders that do like to play Apple who have gotten away or they're just not touching it right now. They're staying out of it for earnings. Just so much uncertainty. So for me, I'll wait. If you want leaps, yeah, you could buy some leaps. I don't know where this thing goes. It was out of play most of last year. It was not a big year for it. Netflix 266 here. The other thing is start looking at some of these biotech. Biotech's getting beat up. Nice big down move. This is an area you'd like to see it hold, right? If it's going to be good, this was, resistance in this area is going to become support around this 112 to 113 area, roughly where it's coming into today. So you can watch to see if there's any kind of reversal in some of those names. All right, Celgene not doing much today. Gilead has earnings next week. Still waiting for that. What else? MasterCard reported today. It looks good. It's moving. Visa isn't going with it. Yep, Visa's going with it. They report tonight, right? Yeah, tonight. And then AXP is getting hit. That's interesting. Vinit, I don't know. I keep looking at it. Is it ready? So, it's holding this area, right? It looked like it was going to break it the other day, right? Came below, went below this trend line. All right, went below our trend line here and closed below it, and then reversed and shot right back up to the 50-day, which it hasn't been able to get through. So is it ready here? It looks like it's trying to consolidate here, but there's just a lot of smoke in the semis at this point. NVIDIA got a big downgrade this morning from Goldman Sachs. They removed it from their conviction buy list and downgraded it to a buy. I think they left a point target on there of 293, but still, that was a big hit for it. We'll see how this responds and how the rest do. One of the things that has me a little bit concerned here is that AMD was all over the place on earnings, right? Had a nice little move up yesterday. Where are the upgrades? Right? I'm not seeing upgrades this morning on it. Um, so just be aware, I don't know. Not everything's equal out here right now. Avgo, what are you doing? They had a move yesterday and then it gave a lot of it back. So whatever that was, it gave it back yesterday. AMAT's not doing anything here. It looks like horrible. I still have two of those calls left, which are just sucking it up. Um, this tonight will move based upon Apple, right? So you got to watch SWKS as well into this tonight. A lot going on there. This is just a good time to be careful here. We still, this has been a rough week. We talked about this week all week long going to be tough between earnings and 20% of the S&P reports this week. You had your big names and Qs, right, all reporting this week. We had Trump speak on Tuesday night. We had the Fed yesterday, and we still have jobs number tomorrow. Right. So just you got to be careful here. Is this the start of a pullback or a sell-off? I don't know. I don't think so, but it could be. I don't know here, guys. We have lost the 8-day on the SPY, and the Qs just are right at it right here at this point. We're definitely testing things. Things are definitely very frothy up here. But we've seen this before where we go like this, we consolidate for a bit, and then we take off and run higher again. So we'll have to see. Yep, new month. See where money wants to go. No, right? You got money coming in today. You got inflows coming in. Good point. The dove was so dovish yesterday. I think that was part of the problem here, guys. The dove was just. I think they were looking for a more hawkish tone and conversation out of the Fed, and we didn't get it. We got really more of the same and more of just like, okay, just keep going as we're going here. So, take it easy. Don't have to play big. Don't even play big a lot at this point. See what the market wants to do. We have about 25 minutes to the open. We're on the lows of the day on the futures. Not hard to say what's going to happen here. What are bonds doing? Bonds, TBT should be going up. If they were hawkish, TBT would be going up. And you can see it's not. TLT is the inverse, right? That's bouncing a little bit. The fins are kind of doing much of anything here. And we've kind of lost the energy sector, though we got some big names reporting starting tomorrow, right? The energy sector broke the 8-day, sliced through it, through the 21-day fast, right? And now, for me, this is an area where you want it to hold. If it's going to be any good, it's going to hold right here, this 7250 area, right? That would be where we previously broke out from, right? We already shot through this support. Now, question is, do we hit the next one and bounce? 50 days coming up. The Bollinger Bands are getting tight. It's down there. Where do I read inflows? What do you mean? I have a program that shows me all the option flow throughout the day that I pay for, Jordan, and I share that on my private Twitter feed. And put the calls, right? To put the calls from yesterday and the close, right? These won't be updated until this morning. You can get on TOS, right? You don't need that. There's your put the call yesterday. It was up, still not up. We want these one readings. We want them higher, right? The NASDAQ closed even lower. So you want to see these go higher. PayPal short all day. That name's been their darling for a while. That earnings report did not make anybody happy. Also, the fact that eBay is not using them anymore, which is just kind of interesting. Triply, we already talked about Micron. We like the look of it here, but it has to get through the 50-day, which it's right at here. So PayPal's at a short all day. Where is it going to open? Let's see. It hit 72. It's at 79 here. It's right, it's right here roughly just below the 21-day. If it can't reclaim the 21-day, I would think you could try to short it down to the 50-day, but see how it opens. See what the markets do, guys. See how everything responds. By the way, Amazon is finally getting some selling pressure here ahead of earnings tonight. Now all the way down to the yesterday's low, low here. Threatening to go through there. I have no position. I'm not paying those inflated premiums here. Stock boy, we already talked about Apple. We talked about it at length. You can go back and listen to it, but honestly, I don't know what it's going to do here. I have no idea, and I'm avoiding it. If it's the buyback program aren't on this last 8 sessions, so we'll see. Other than that, guys, I expect this to be a little bit whippy, choppy type action day. Big earnings tonight. I don't think they'll let the market go today with the big earnings tonight. I think it's unlikely they'll let it completely go. But, it does kind of feel like they want to retest the spot 21 day. We haven't seen the 21 day in a long time on these markets. And by that, you go back here 3 months. The last time we touched the 21 day was back here on the 11th, the 15th of November, right? That is a long time, right? Been trending higher. We didn't see the 8 day for a while. So, they may want to try to do a little bit of price discovery here. And by that means, test people. And you remember markets, the market loves to rope shorts in and then squeeze them into new highs. So, they're trying to get some shorts into the market here. Man, the shorts, the bears out there are trying to roar. They're trying to say, here we go. We're going to push this thing down. But, again, we're not even to the 21 day, right? 21 day is so far below still, right? So this just, it's hard. It's a hard spot. That said, not everything's equal. Twitter's holding in just fine here. I talked about this yesterday to the people in my service. I'd watch Twitter for Friday. I'd watch it for a Friday move as people may try to come in and load up, on Friday to see if they can get a weekend buyout. Baba is still going down here. It's breaking the initial support area of 194, 90, 95, 96 area, which I was hoping for it to hold. So, it's kind of busting through, and it's into right here, this 192 area, right? So when you look at it there, it's 193.51. What you like to do is you come to your chart and say, where did we break out from? Well, here we broke out from 192.25. So I would watch that. It also lines up with the 21 day. If Baba can hold there, maybe you can get a reverse off of there and try it. Just be aware this stock does like to come down and touch the 50 day and reconnect with it quite often. So, they may let this go a little bit before they come back in screaming to buy it. Right? In general, you have to watch the action of the stock, watch the volume, and watch how it reacts today. You have to be careful with these names. They're getting whipped around for a reason. They're getting whipped around because it wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough to move the needle, right? After these huge runs, that makes a lot of sense. Hang on, I gotta respond to somebody here. So here we are. So, today's one of those days to see how the market's set up. I would give it a little bit. What you also need to be aware of is if you look at the SPY and, this gap right here, right, from the other day, we have an unfilled gap now from the gap down. Did not go fill it. Maybe easier to see on the SPX. Right? This gap never got filled. Easy to see it here on the SPX, on the cash index. That's the one you want to use. This is what you want to look at for this at this point. This gap right here, right? We never got filled. We went to it twice and couldn't get into it. So now you have a gap up here left above here to see how that goes. All right, guys, it's about 9:12. Been on for a bit. I'm going to go grab some coffee and get ready for the market open. I appreciate you guys all joining me. I hope this helped you guys today. Give it time. Looks like Qs want to go lower and the SPY wants to go lower here. So let this figure itself out. Where's the volume at? So we were talking volume real quick. We're up to 2.2 million shares on the SPY now. So there's volume. So there's some volume coming into this here, right? We're having some volume coming in. See if it goes lower. Watch the VIX. Right? If it's really going to get going, you can grab some UVXY. If this is really going to pop, grab some UVXY real quick. Take it for a ride. Right? You can get back to yesterday high and goes above there. All right, guys, I need to get some coffee. Everybody, good luck to you. Have a great day. And if you're not in my service, there's a link here. $25 for the first month. This is what we do every day, along with all the option flow, all the news and everything throughout the day, giving everybody a chance to trade off of that. That stuff you can trade to make a lot of money off the information I provide on there, and I'm very quick at providing it. I usually provide all that stuff before I take my trades. So with that, if you like it, there's a link to smartoptiontrading.com down below for a trial for $25 for the first 30 days. Love to have you sign up. And if not, I continue to do what I do on publicly as well. So So everybody have a great day. Good luck to you, and I'll see those people in the service for the open in about 15 minutes.